folks. What's happening, Roland? Well, today is Friday. In fact, it's the 7th day of June. Boy, what a month we had last month. All sorts of topwater fish, all sorts of shiner fish, all sorts of frog fish. It was just a fantastic week. But this week is getting ready for a big, big trip, because what I'm doing, the second week of June, I'm going to go with Jimmy Houston. I'm going down to Mexico for a couple days to be at Pedro Soares, and I'm getting ready for that trip. And then I'm going to take my big bass boat down to the Toledo Bend with Jimmy, and I have to get that all set up with my new active target. Now I have to talk about all that, and then I'm going on to Louisiana Delta. Okay, so let's look at what I got here. Okay, here I'm mounting my new power pole trolling motor. You know, this takes a long time. I mean, you can pay thousands of dollars to get your boats rigged, but I do a lot of it myself. And so I've rigged it all up. I put the plate on here. I rigged it all up, and now I got to do all the wiring. And while I'm at it, I'm putting a brand new set of Superstart batteries. You notice I work with Superstart on the O'Reilly batteries. I'm putting a brand new set in there, because what happened a couple of years ago, we got down to the Delta, I had some battery problems, but I won't now, because I'll have a brand new set of brand new batteries, and we'll get out in the Gulf of Mexico. I'll be safe, and I know I'll get back in. But anyway, so that's been a big deal. Now, along with this trolling motor, if you notice what I'm doing, this is the Rite hite system. Now, I had a Rite hite system on the other trolling motor I had, and they've just recently come out with a bracket. This bracket now goes to that Move trolling motor. This is the finest trolling motor in the world, but they didn't have a bracket to put the Rite hite for forward-facing sonar. Now, what this unit does is it allows you to turn it, and when I get it all installed, this will allow this to turn the transducer, and the trolling motor will say be in spotlight going this way, and now I can turn the Rite hite to another direction. So I can be anchored with a thing in spot lock or in anchor mode, holding on a spot, holding on a crappie brush pile, holding on a ledge full of bass. In the meantime, I can take the Rite hite and adjust back and forth and see where all the fish and all the structure is. So anyway, this is the Rite hite. This is the brand new system. I'm setting that all up. Again, we're talking about a lot of work. I've been working on it for 2 days, and I had to rewire a whole bunch of stuff, taking the old batteries out, put new batteries in. So that's just one issue. Okay, another issue. Okay, now here's my number one boat for the guide work. Okay, and when I was out there at the headwaters just last week, I had a small problem. I had a problem with this motor right here. Here's the live well motor. Now, luckily, I have oxygen, so I always have an oxygen backup. And so I had $200 worth of shiners in my boat, all ready to go, and we were fishing. And my live well pump goes out. But this is the new the cartridge motor that goes into my live well system. I got to put that in. It's really easy to do. That's just one of the issues. But luckily, I had an oxygen system. Now, what that means is whenever I go anywhere, I can just show you what I carry with me. And I carry this pretty much all the time. I get this whole shop full of stuff, but this is a fail-safe thing that I like to carry for an emergency. You're talking about a great emergency. Look at that little oxygen tank, little regulator, a little stone. It could be bass, it could be bait, it could be anything important. And I have a backup system. If I don't have a pump for my aerator or for my live well, I got it with this oxygen. Oxygen will take care of the whole situation. And I have other tanks, and I have all sorts of other systems, and I got all sorts of backup. Along with that, I have a myriad of equipment. So I'm packing this boat. This takes another couple days. So that's one issue. Let me just show you some of the other boats I got. I'll just come over here and I'll just kind of talk about it. First, I got a canoe inside. You didn't see that canoe, but I take that canoe a lot of places, along with my 15. I have a 1542 back here too. But here's my heritage. Now, I have a lot of people say, and I do YouTubes all the time, and a lot of people can't afford a $100,000 bass boat or a $60,000 or $80,000 bass boat. And this boat here, I got into this thing for $12,000, $13,000. This has got a 40 horsepower Mercury motor. It's a little 17-foot tracker bass boat. And I have a depth finder on there. That's an upgrade. And I have a power pole, which is a little that little mini power pole. Anyway, it's all set up, and for less than $15,000, I got a suitable pond boat. I mean, I don't take it out on Okeechobee much, and I don't take it over to headwaters. It's not quite big enough to guide with, but it's just perfect for these ponds. It's just perfect for these little canals around here in South Florida. And so I use it down the Everglades as well. So this is really a practical boat. This is a boat I can't really do without. You've seen me in the Heritage many times. Now, if I'm really going back in the backcountry, if I'm really getting back into the bushes and into the Everglades, here's my boat. I haven't used it lately, but I got a 25 horsepower Mercury, and this is a 1648. Okay, 1648 or 1652. I can't remember which, but it's a really nice boat. It runs about 30 miles an hour with the 25. I got plenty of range. I can get it over all the mud bars and sandbars, and it's just an exquisite boat for the Everglades. I just have it strictly to beat through, because see, here's the other problem. Sometimes these little creeks in the Everglades have mangroves, and all the roots hang down, and they put these black marks all down the side of the boat. If you take a nice boat in there, you're going to get it so nasty and dirty. You have to use Clorox and everything else to get all the black marks off of it. But that boat cleans up good. It's just real convenient. Runs like a champ. Okay, that's one really good boat. Now, speaking of flats boats, I got a boat years ago. I don't talk about this boat much because it's not a tracker, it's not a nitro, it's not anything that the Bass Pro Shop has, but rather this boat here is a boat that I restored, I rebuilt. And what it was at one point, this was a 1963 or 1965, no, 1968. 1968 or some kind of 60. Aquasport. It had the old flat bottom Aquasport. It had little viewing windows in the live well. I took those out. I put a new transom in. I took the deck. The regular boat came up about this high, and it had a big bow on it. I cut this all down. I put this special foam. It's all good. A foam. Look at that. It's really good, solid stuff. It's all set up. I have a tower. I tell my wife Judy all the time, I said, well, I really got a good deal. I found this old 1960-something Aquasport, and I only paid like $3,000 or $4,000. And for a mere $53,000, I've restored it to what it is now. It's just a great flats boat. It costs a lot of money to restore a boat. That's a brand new engine, brand new jack plate, towers, all that stuff. You're talking about big money. Anyway, that's something I play with. That's a lot of fun. Well, anyway, this is the other boat I have. My last little boat is this little 1542. It's a flat bottom. I can't see it. It's a John boat, and I put it in the back of my either this Ford truck here. I put it in the back of that, or I put it in the back of my new Ford truck. And I take it down to A1 and some of the other places below Lake Okeechobee, and it's electric motor only. And I go back in some of those places. There's a 17,000 acre retention area down there that I fish with. It's open Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And I take this little 1542 down there. That and the canoe. So last count I think I have 2 more airboats. Okay, I have 2 more airboats over at Rich's right now getting fixed, and my other airboats over at Fellsmere. Just I keep it over there because I guide with it. So I have, I think, 10 boats or 11 boats that I keep registered, that I keep as a yearly complement of boats, from the smallest little canoe all the way up to that big old flats boat. But anyway, I have a lot of fun with boats, and it takes me a long time to keep everything going. And so that's kind of what I'm doing this week. But I know I'm going to be working hard for the next 2 or 3 days. I got to get some shows ready and go up to Canada to edit. The people, Angelo Viola and the Pond Post Productions, they edit all my television shows. And that's the other thing. I have a television series that is ongoing. And so I encourage you guys on YouTube to watch my Fishing with Roland Martin. It's a great show, and this year I'll be fishing all over Mexico and all over the Gulf of Mexico. I was with Jimmy Houston a bunch, and we're just having a great time. But anyway, hey, I'm busy. I'm an old man, but I'm fishing each and every day and catching a lot of fish. That's the main thing. Keeping good health and keeping a good attitude. Hey, we'll see you again soon. Hey, thanks for watching. Hey, hit that likes button. I have a lot of good advertisers like O'Reilly and Bass Pro Shop and all these other fine people. They need that support. We'll see you again soon.